Breaking news, a man shot in the head in Winston-Salem is in the hospital right now and police are looking for a suspect.
Officers were called out to Harding Street just a couple of hours ago. This is not far from Waughtown. Police didn't release any information about the suspected gunman.
More breaking news now. Presidential candidates are canceling rallies because of concerns about the coronavirus.
Both Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders were scheduled to be in Cleveland, Ohio tonight. NBC News just moments ago reports Mr. Biden will instead speak in Philadelphia, and both campaigns say they'll be making decisions about future scheduled events in the days to come.
There is a state of emergency in place in North Carolina right now because of the spread of COVID-19.
Still 7 confirmed cases throughout the state, and the governor says he's working with health experts to stop this virus from spreading.
We're still waiting on more information from the CDC to get all of those cases confirmed, and we do know that they do have to have a faster response because of all of this as well.
And it also makes price gouging illegal. That's part of that state of emergency piece.
Majority of the reported cases are in Wake County. Health experts say 5 people who tested positive attended a conference in Boston last month. There is also a separate case in Wake County. The other patient is in Chatham County. They are all in isolation. With more presumptive positive coronavirus cases in North Carolina, state leaders are issuing some new guidelines. They recommend people who are 65 and older and those with health problems avoid large gatherings as well as events. Health experts are also asking staff at nursing homes as well as assisted living centers to restrict visitors and increase cleaning measures.
And the governor is making this announcement on the very same day that the men's ACC basketball tournament is getting underway in Greensboro.
That's right. The men's tournament hasn't been in town since 2015, but should you go or watch highlights from home?
Let's go to Brianna Connor. She is in our newsroom tonight with the recommendation straight from state leaders. Brianna.
Well, the short answer is it depends. Governor Roy Cooper is a big sports fan. He graduated from the UNC Chapel Hill and attends several events every year. Here's the governor's answer about whether he would consider changing plans.
I would plan to go to sporting events and to mass gatherings myself, not being in the high-risk category. I think people have to make their own decisions about that. And remember that these recommendations may be evolving as we see more and more about what's happening. But we're making no recommendations about canceling anything.
Now, I want to emphasize that high-risk category is people 65 and older and people who have health issues. Health experts say if you're in that group, you need to avoid any large gathering. As for the ACC tournament, it is going on as planned. The deputy director of the Greensboro Coliseum says their staff's taking extra steps to keep teams and fans healthy. If you go to the tournament, you're going to see additional signs from the CDC and more hand sanitizing stations. Staff also comes in to clean the Coliseum every night. A spokesperson for the ACC says leaders are checking in with schools, health experts, as well as the NCAA. The Ivy League, however, canceled its men's and women's basketball tournaments because of the coronavirus. The games are supposed to be this weekend. The Ivy League is giving its automatic NCAA tournament bids to the regular season champions. That is Princetown for the women and Yale for the men. The NCAA tournament starts 1 week from today, and the organization is preparing for every possible scenario. An advisory panel is meeting a couple times a day. The NCAA says it's prepared to play games without fans if it comes down to that. But right now they're focusing on a checklist to keep players and the fans healthy. It includes keeping players from sharing items in the locker room and on the court, getting the appropriate disinfectants, and making sure there are enough places for people to wash their hands. Ultimately, NCAA leaders say health experts are going to make the call and not them. Greensboro is set to host first and second round games. In the studio, I'm Brianna Connor.
Brianna, thank you very much. LabCorp in Burlington is one of the places testing samples for the coronavirus. Workers there are getting tests from healthcare providers from literally all over the country. They say they can test thousands of samples every single day, but a spokesperson would not say exactly how many tests they've done so far. LabCorp is also looking at ways to expand its testing capabilities.
The coronavirus, no doubt a topic on the agenda for tonight's Guilford County School Board meeting because it's a big concern. Many are expected to talk about the emergency preparations and what they can do now. Those plans involve buying additional soap, hand sanitizer, as well as disinfectant wipes. We will be at tonight's meeting and we'll bring you the district's plan on the Triad CW at 10 o'clock and on WXI 12 News at 11 o'clock. Well, folks, some local school districts are taking a second look at field trips because of the coronavirus. Alamance, Burlington, as well as Winston-Salem, Forsyth County, and Mount Airy City Schools tell us that they are taking a closer look at where these field trips are planned. A spokesperson for Alamance Burlington School says that decisions will be made on a case-by-case basis, even if those trips were previously approved.
Well, a number of Triad colleges and universities are starting to bring study abroad students home early out of a fear of this. Leanne Denyer just recently spoke with one of those impacted students. Leanne, how's she doing and what is she doing right now?
Yeah, we actually just hopped off the phone video call with an Elon University student, Kristen Calvoy. She's home now after her study abroad trip to Florence, Italy was abruptly canceled due to coronavirus concerns. She did share a few pictures. She did get some adventures in before she had to come back. She told us right now she's still kind of processing the news that after months of saving and preparing for this semester in Italy, it just won't be happening. She received word 2 weeks ago today that her program had been suspended and was on a flight back within 36 hours back to the United States. So before news of the virus spread, Calvoy says she was proud of the progress she'd made, even though it had just been a short amount of time, and she's already thinking about how and when she'll be able to get back.
That was the hardest thing about coming home, because I was really doing well, and that was like, oh, I'll have to come back. But I think I will, because it never left a sour taste in my mouth. You know, the situation did, but not the country itself. So I have to remember it as a very positive place.
She says that she needed the time abroad as part of her program, and she still thinks she's set to graduate in December. She does have some questions for Elon that they're working on getting wrapped up. In the newsroom, Leanne Denyer, WXII 12 News.
Leanne, thank you very much. All of this news time that we've been devoting to coronavirus is meant to prepare you for a possible impact and help you and your family stay healthy. Best thing you can do is wash your hands and wash them frequently. Use warm water and wash for at least 20 seconds with soap. That's about how long it takes to sing happy birthday twice. You can also and should cover your mouth and your nose when you cough or sneeze. If you feel sick, by all means, doctors say you need to stay home. And these are good, healthy habits to employ all year, not just in the middle of this particular incident. Coming up tonight at the bottom of the hour on NBC Nightly News, Lester Holt gets inside a coronavirus vaccine lab where researchers are using various techniques that helped them develop an Ebola vaccine not too long ago. NBC News also has a presence tonight in Rome, where millions of people are being told to stay indoors. Nightly News begins in about 25 minutes, 6:30, right here on WXII.
4 people are now charged with attempted murder in a child abuse case out of High Point. Investigators say the suspects are the child's father, stepmother, and step-grandparents. U.S. Marshals just arrested the step-grandparents, Janie Marshall, as well as Russell Brewington. High Point police arrested Bradley Kimball and Ajaya Marshall a couple of days ago. Investigators say someone from an elementary school called the police department and Child Protective Services. Officers say that the child has significant physical injuries and health issues and is now recovering.
A key witness who helped to convict 5 teenagers of murder in Winston-Salem now says she lied on the stand more than a decade ago. Today, she's answering questions from the state's Innocence Inquiry Commission. That case involves the 2002 murder of a man named Nathaniel Jones, who happens to be the grandfather of NBA All-Star Chris Paul. 2 of the teenagers are currently serving life sentences. Another 3 have been released from prison after serving 12 years. Bill O'Neill is in Raleigh with a closer look at why this woman now says she lied back then.
The key witness who recanted her testimony in a video deposition shown to commissioners yesterday, today appeared as a live witness, answering questions from those same commissioners. Jessica Black spent several hours testifying how Winston-Salem police threatened the 16-year-old with prison if she didn't tell them what they wanted to hear.
When I went in there through that interrogation, when I first sat down with them, I told them the exact thing I just sat here and told y'all about where we went. Off get-go, I was told I was lying, and it was a constant beat me down over I'm lying.
And how Forsyth County prosecutors provided her with a script telling her what to say during the trial.
This is what you said, so go ahead and take us home with you. Prepare for what you're fixing to go through. And that's what I did.
Black recanted her testimony, saying she never saw the murder of Nathaniel Jones. Commissioners asked her today why, after all these years, she's decided to come forward.
What were you expecting to happen by coming forward and changing your story?
That everything be set right the way it should be, and what happened in those rooms and stuff be known. Like what? I mean, just that everything was set straight.
Black was the only eyewitness to the murder. Her testimony helped convict 5 Winston-Salem teenagers, 2 of whom, Nathaniel Cawthon and Rayshawn Banner, who remain in prison today. Commissioners asked Black what she would say to the families of the young men who went to prison, thanks in part to her false testimony.
And I'm sorry that I gave false testimony. And I'm sorry that I'm just sorry.
One of the commissioners noted today that it was clear to him Jessica Black had suffered a traumatic experience with this case and asked whether or not she had ever gotten professional help. Ms. Black answered when she was 19 or 20 years of age, she did get help. In Raleigh, Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
And we are told this trial is expected to last the remainder of the week. Bill will be in Raleigh until this hearing concludes. He's been tweeting photos and videos. You can also get more information from inside that hearing by following him on Twitter. He is at BON3407.